Hi, everybody. My name is Samuel Durbridge, is what the name I have on this channel. And I wanted to let you be aware that we are all individually really strong, powerful beings within. According to many ancient texts, many information, we have that unique connection. Now, whether you look at it in a scientific way or a spiritual way, energy, water science, and many other sciences confirm it. If you look up the show, The Celestine Prophecy, it brings up that same awareness. And why do I bring that up right now? Because we're about to go through a change. We've already been going through a change for a really long time. Many are bringing up the 1212 portal, and it relieves and changes, and we're going into an unknown territory, where we're going through a portal through this realm we're in, that we've created, and we're going to go through it, and it's going to then get us to whatever our destination is on 1221. So 1221 is the flash. So while we're going through this portal, things are going to change and feel interesting. Things are going to be really strange in certain ways, according to what some have said. We're going to see things that have always been there, just in some form of other reality around us. So we're going to start seeing the veil thin again. But this time it's going to fully thin. And it's going to get us to our exact reality of vibe that we're open to. So a lot of different individuals on different channels are bringing it up in many different ways. Some are channeling different beings, Palladians, Arcturians, and forgive me if I'm not saying a lot of these correctly. There's just so many different beings that others are claiming and mentioning are telling them things and giving them information, their higher self. Now, some of these are individuals that are doing it for some kind of particular reason, and it may not be for a good reason. Some of them are just trying to play with their style of marketing for what they feel they are. What's about to happen is, even if people are bringing up things that doesn't sound right, they could be telling the truth within without realizing that they are, but knowing that they're not, but then secretly they really are without knowing that they are. So many of them are being led to do certain things, and they could be doing it for purposes that aren't really what is going to occur, but it's going to be amazing. What's about to happen is it's going to be based off of all of your individual focuses of what you think is going to happen for you, but it's going to be better or worse depending on your vibe of belief. So your belief and your thoughts of what is acceptable and what isn't is what will create your new reality form. But it will still be better than where you're at, or worse than where you're at, depending on what you think is supposed to occur, what you feel should occur. So follow your heart. To me, when I mention that or let that be known to people and beings and everybody, whatever we are, I let individuals know this, and I say this in weird ways because this is just the way that I express this open mind of awareness about just everything. So what's going on is there's so much intel that I and others have awoken up to, and what's really cool is the Star of David is coming back, which is interesting because I didn't think the Star of David would come in that way so often like this, because it came back in 2017, or it left in 2017, but came back in 2015 when I first awoke into weird awarenesses. Then 2017, I had my experience from higher inner self, connected to a type of possible Christ consciousness, but more of a peaceful, unconditional love form, which is different than what others talk about it. And many people are saying that if someone's having a Christ consciousness, they're thinking an end of the world scenario. No, it's way different with what I experience and what others are saying it is. And so what is going on is I experienced something that saved my life. And so I noticed something that really made sense, but then I've seen other things since July this year of 2020 that there's been a lot of shifts and then a lot of irritations and a lot of new awakenings, getting rid of certain toxic chemical ideas in foods that I didn't really notice was in some of my foods, and I caught on to it. So I had to change my food again to be even less toxic than it was. And it just made things more raw, more high vibrational, more just amazingly powerful. And so what is interesting is when you go through this awakening, you go through this trial and error period, and you deal with a lot of different irritations, and you have to balance those irritations that others are providing you or throwing at you, and you have to learn how do I become the best me. Well, what I've realized that I really loved about Celestine Prophecy, I haven't read the book, but I've seen the movie and it was really good. Information is stuff that I already basically knew, but it made a lot more sense to what I've researched and been aware about. And then I started being aware more of what I've been seeing and noticing with energies and waves and a whole bunch of things, and what others have said that they've seen and experienced. But then I've also become more balanced, more peaceful, more able to realize how to really get to where I want to go. So I'm doing this video so that individuals that hopefully get drawn to it, but at least I'll have it out there to show that I at least let it be known. The information that I'm going to share right now has to deal with your individual heart vibes and power. You are amazingly powerful within your heart, and you can create certain things. Now, there are different blood types that provide different abilities. So there is A's and A negatives that are said to have plans. They're aware of how to make a world better, and they usually are the elitist connected individuals on this planet. Some are good, some are bad, but they usually are being killed off for any of them that are trying to be a certain vibration that changes the world to be controlled a more peaceful, better way for the shift. And so they want to take them out because according to some records of blood type, Rh negative factors and Rh factors, there is information that it shows that the A's just need to mate with B negative, or an A just needs to mate with a certain blood type that will create an AB negative Christ bloodline connection. The O is always going to be part of B, so the O is the field. So when an AB negative is with an O, there's some irritations and balance, but they're just part of something that is important. They have a balanced purpose, but it's also good to have an A and a B that is separate, that can kind of lead them. And it's even better to have an A negative, B negative, an AB negative, and an O negative coming together to balance each other off. So an A negative, a B negative, and an O negative and an AB negative would be great, because then we can balance things. But then we need the same as the positive form so that we can communicate with them and have them part of a group as well, and just so that they can get their earth created correctly for this shift. So that because negative bloodlines are said to be divine bloodlines. Some people call us the Trojan horses, is what I've heard a common term on it, meaning we came at this time for this purpose. We're hidden angels that are among this planet. We could be one of the 144,000. I think there's more than 144,000. There always is. And I've heard many things, and I just felt it in my heart. I heard something just agree with me. And so what it is there are more. And when it comes to beings, there are certain particular beings where there are basically 144,000 beings, angel beings, and then that have different factions, which even have more protecting you beyond that. Guardian spirits, guardian angels, whatever you want to call it. It's whatever is that's keeping you on the path that you're on to your ultimate goal of ascension, creative desire to be. So whatever your belief system is and religion is, you're creating that heaven that you desire for. And that heaven will be better than what you're thinking it will be if that's what you would desire it to be. So it's going to be very interesting. So someone else's heaven is someone else's heck. And I'm keeping it more appropriate, even though basically someone else's heaven is someone else's hell. And so what it is we're all going to get our different unique timeline creations. And it's going to be heaven on earth or heaven change, rapture, whatever you want to call it. It's going to be different forms for different individual beings, because we all are vibing and creating our own acceptance of what we wish to switch to. So this tunnel or this 1212 portal is what people that we're going through. We've been going through many portals. Now we're going through the ultimate portal that gets us to our optimal ultimate timeline, like new forms. And it could be that they're all merged together now and it's just ultimate ending, which is a new beginning of our new forms. That then we are basically the beings that were of the past, gods of the past, creation of the past. So that's what's going on. So what I wanted to let you all be aware of is we're going through this change, and it's going to refine you like a diamond, is what I like to say it as. Sumptuous. You're sumptuous. And it's the good forms and definitions of sumptuous. But or whatever you consider good, or the desired words that you feel is sumptuous, that you think sumptuous is, that you want sumptuous to be. And so there are always going to be bad definitions of any word or any being, but there's always a good that's there too. So I just wanted to let you be aware. There's so much change that's coming through, and we're about to shift into this change. And so what we're going to go into is we're going to change from what we were into a new form of self, and we're going to become our full, awesome, amazing being. We're not going to have any trials as much as we have before unless you desire it to or feel that it's required. What's going to happen is we're going to shift into a form of reality that is beyond any form of reality we ever thought of. And what this shift is going to do is it's going to refine us through the portal, and then on the 21st of December will be the shift. People are calling it the early Christmas present. You might even get it between now and the 21st. But the early Christmas present, I felt that it could happen on the 11th. It could happen on the 12th. Could happen between the 12th and the 21st. Or after the 21st. Or on the 21st. Either way, we're going to shift and change into whatever form or place that we are vibing to and ready for. So I want you to focus on the most positive focuses about you. Not what others say you are, what you think I feel you are, because I really don't want to think anything negative about anyone. Not my family, not my friends, not other individuals that used to be my friends, or anybody. I care about everybody regardless what they think about me or what path we all chose. And I mean that genuinely. See, my change of becoming the new me, I went through a process that refined me already. And I'm still being refined, and so are you. Everybody is. And what it is it's not a religious statement. It comes across very evangelical or religious, but I'm not part of any religion faction at all. This is way beyond that. There is something, whatever is, and we're going to see whatever that is and feel it and notice it, and we'll all have awareness of it. Many of us have had abuses done to us and tricks and irritations. And what's going on is that is dropping off. That is healing. That's correcting them and correcting us so that we all can be in our individual timeline places. And it's not really timeline. It's more of whatever it's going to be. I want it to be more of the most peaceful form of self that we can be. But I still want to be able to have my dream house, dream life, dream whatever, but it may not even be required. But I want to be able to have some form of completion. And then once that completion is done, then I can move on and be something more. But we're all looking for that completion, the soulmate, the twin flame, the connection of darkness and light, or yin and yang, or whatever you want to call it. It's the golden connection of heart with soul. And it is our ultimate combined self that we are hoping to fully be. And then we go on from there. So we just keep going onwards and upwards. Some are going downwards because they want to. And us thinking who is going downwards may not be the ones that are going downwards. Our thoughts and our feelings can help create that, so we don't want that. Because if we do that, it will affect us to go downwards too. Because if we're promoting that someone deserves to go down, then we're saying that we deserve to go down too, because we're judging them, we're prejudging them. We don't know what they're always going through. And if we do, we would be able to relate with them more and help them more and be there for them more. If we're truly good individual beings, if that's what you see yourself as. So forgive yourself, forgive others, love you, you're amazing. And I don't just say this. When I went through this journey from 2015 till now, I realized that the way that we become balanced and the way that we get to this shift appropriately will be individually dependent on us. And others will try to affect our emotions and get us to be affected, to steal our power or to mess with our power, just because they think that that's what they are meant to do, or that's what they signed up to do in their way of teaching, or what others have told them they are, or what they feel that they must do for whatever reason. The whole thing is, we are in a show and in a game and in a simulation. We're 3D avatars, is what I've heard many good friends on Twitter. A really amazing guy that I like, Billy Don. He's basically, Val Valiant Thor 12 is his handle. And I really like this guy. He has a lot of awareness of things that I have, and I just was grateful that I found someone that was aware of all the stuff I am. And I don't know where he's getting it from. I don't know if it's because of things I've shared, and maybe he is now realizing I've been saying it. I have no idea where he got it from, but I was one of the original ones that brought it up years ago, being aware of it. And so maybe I woke him up to some of it. I have no idea. Maybe I know I've been monitored and messed with, and others have tried to take a lot of my ideas, but then I've also kind of learned it from other people's ideas because they fit with what I experienced. So we're all experiencing the same experiences, so no one's really stealing anything, but anybody that does, it will be outed and known soon within the realm that we'll be in, and it won't really matter. Everybody will be healed, everybody will be forgiven, everybody will be put into their desired heaven realm reality, or at least be healed from their pain, so they don't have to vibe that way anymore or be part of that anymore. And so what I know that is really cool is there is a change coming. a shift. And this shift is going to push us towards a really powerful direction. And this direction is so different than what any of us have been told or talked about. So what I'm about to tell you is huge. When you balance your energies and you forgive yourself and others around you, it doesn't mean that you're going to react or not react to things. Whenever you do, you do it with a full heart and an open awareness of, if I do this to them, why am I choosing to do this? Is it for my protection, and is it for them? We're all dealing with all certain traumas and situations that we've dealt with, and we're becoming more our full self within us. And there's been individuals who have done bad things to us for good reasons, and there's been good people that have done, or there's been people that have done good things for us for bad reasons. And so we don't know which is which, and so it's kind of balancing itself out. So when you become self-worth, so what self-worth is realizing that you do matter in your heart, and that your instincts are important, and that you just need to follow those instincts, whether they're right or wrong, and then adapt to it to make them more efficient, so you can trust your own instincts more, so you can learn from it, rather than blaming someone else or blaming yourself, thinking that you have a demon in you or that someone else has a demon in them. We need to realize that others are going to follow their path and do what they're going to do. We stand up for ourselves, for our freedoms, and for what we feel is right for us from our knowledge. We share that knowledge and we let it be known. When anybody tries to fight or get after us, that doesn't mean that they have a demon in them. Yes, they may have some form of energy part of them, but everything is part of everything. And once you wake up to the awareness that there is an energy connection that has nothing to do with whether you're a demon or an angel, but it's just whatever your vibration and situations are around you, and the signals that are being pumped towards you by whoever we consider bad or good. But those who are bad could be good, and they're just following a role. Those who are good could be bad, following a role. And so we don't know who is good and who is bad. It's your heart that will decide. So I follow my heart. I choose to be very honest and authentic. And what authentic is being very genuine, being very truthful when you feel it's supposed to be. Not trying to manipulate or to take over another person's life, but standing up for all, regardless what they think and feel about you. It's about doing the right thing by putting yourself in other people's shoes and realizing what is the right thing to do, not because a God tells me, but because my heart tells me. Because all that the God connection has said in the ancient scriptures that are unredacted is follow your energy of vibration of peace, love, joy, and follow that, and you'll have instinct from whatever is the creation to you and whatever is connected to you, good or bad. Follow the path of your heart, and you will make better things for you and others around you, things that they ultimately would hope for, and full healing can be achieved. And so there's so much information about this where when you balance and you don't try to dominate your energy thinking you know more than another, and you realize that we all know whatever we know. So learn from each other. Listen with your heart. Forgive. Forgive yourself. Forgive what you're going through and what others have put you through. And forgive yourself for not being unforgiving. If you feel it's too much, be honest about it. Don't hide it. Be outspoken. Be inner spoken. Be fully spoken in any way that you feel is needed. Don't put yourself down. If you have, forgive yourself. You're awesome, and I forgive you. You're fine. And if there's nothing to be forgiven of, then you're good. make sure that you don't worry about people's tones either, because the tones are there for a purpose. It doesn't mean that they're meaning it to be bad or good, or that my hand signals mean anything. Up or down is what that means, is what I was showing. And what it is you just need to find what your balance is. And even if you don't find your balance, if you did your best to be the full you and you're honest about your reasons of reactions to family, friends, or others, you're okay. Just make sure that you are following what you are okay with experiencing and having in your life and beyond. But what is really cool about this portal is we're going through is it's clearing up all of those negativities that no longer serve us. And even if they serve us, and I've said this in a tweet, it's clearing out the energies that serve us too. The negative energies that serve us, because there are negative energies that have been serving us. So negative and positive is not necessarily a magnet statement either. It's more of good or bad, or low vibrations and high vibrations. High vibrations heal, low vibrations bring you down. When you say, I understand, understand is where? It's under. You're understanding. So you're not upstanding, or you're not equal in standing, you're understanding. So you're low vibe standing. You're low vibe awareness. You want to say, I'm upstanding. I'm high vibe awareness. Forgive yourself whenever you say understanding. There's times that I will say understanding, but ever since I heard that from Charlie Freak and others, I'm just like, okay, this is interesting, because I look at this and I go, this is so crazy, because it brings up some really cool insights, but that I never thought of, that it's just so strange. And it's so cool, because when you start realizing that our words have been made a certain way for good and bad reasons, you start to realize that there is a duality. We are not good or bad. We are everything, and everything is us. Once we recognize that and we realize that the light, the high vibes ride the dark, like a steed, a horse, or whatever, vehicle of sorts, you realize that it steers it. It lets the darkness decide for itself, but it knows what it will do because it's been it before. Or at least it's steering it because it has the ability to. So even if the darkness does what it does, it can stop it or steer it away from doing worse than it plans to do, if it's not good for the full collective of it all. And so what is happening is it's clearing all the negative vibes, the low vibes, and it's making us more higher vibes but more balanced too. So all the good low vibes are coming and combining with the high good vibes. Because sometimes high vibes, if it's too high or too much, it can be overwhelming. And so what is going on is it's becoming just whelming, where you're just becoming just balanced. Yes, you might still have a little dark, and you might still have a little light. You might have more light than dark, or more dark than light, but you're a balanced being that is in a realm that is comfortable for you. But the more high vibed you are, the more you'll keep on becoming, rather than never existing. Because the more low you go, the more you start to disappear. Because that's what low vibes do. They make you sad, they make you painful, they make you suffer. And then you die and you don't exist anymore. Within the spectrum of you just disintegrate into nothingness. And so that's just vibration studies and all. It's according to this realm. But we don't know what the other realms decide. The other realms are different than this realm. So this new realm that we're going into is going to be a whole new story. It's going to be a whole new form of self. But we're going to finally have knowledge and awareness. And this age that we're shifting into is called the Golden Age, or the Aquarius Age. We're going from ignorance is bliss to knowing all things. Knowledge and wisdom is what we're going to learn, while we're learning about the heart. For those that still need to, you're going to become more of learning what love is, what true love is, balanced love. For those of us that have done our best to be that way, we're still going to do it. And there will be some that will ascend above others because we've learned what we needed to. But it doesn't mean that you won't. If you feel that you deserve and desire it, then you'll be given a fast track for that knowledge. And that is what it matters, because you know it matters to you in your heart. If you want that, you'll have a fast track and you'll go through stuff. I've seen a few fast tracks being around certain individuals. And it's just, we're about to become a very powerful form of self. We're going to heal all our problems. All our lookings and attitudes are just going to heal themselves. They're going to correct. We're going to be refined. We're going to be sumptuous diamonds or crystals or beings. And we're going to shine, or we're just going to be very more high vibe than we were before, whether we shine or not. But we're always shining. We always have auras. And we all matter in the heart. And so just know that my thoughts are with you, and I bless you all. But yeah, it's about balancing your energies, getting ready, and then shifting. So bless you all. Enjoy the 1212 portal and the shift in 1221. I've heard that there's going to be a lot of changes. I've heard that it would be best to stay inside because of all the dark forces that will be outside. And then also this is just something that's coming from another individual, that we might shift, and anything that's digital in us or part of us will just dissolve. So if you have metal in your back like I do, and leg, and other stuff in your teeth, those will dissolve, and then you'll get a new form. You'll become a new form, or you'll come out as a new form, because it's changing you with light waves. So it's going to heal anything that disintegrates. It will make up for what was damaged and corrected, is how a peaceful energy is. The next thing that's going to occur is you and I will all shift into a new way of being, whatever we will. And it could dissolve all our clothes and anything that's not natural. And we'll become, possibly we'll get into the new world either with the new clothing of that world or without any. So if you're standing in the street and everybody's shifting around you, or you're with a group of people, you might go through this shift on the 21st and then end up without any clothing. So just heads up on that. I don't know if that's the case, but someone else mentioned that it could be, and I wouldn't be surprised, but I'm going to laugh if it does a little bit, because I'm not really that shy about things. I might be a little bit embarrassed, just like everybody would, but anyway, bless you, and I'll do another video maybe later, but bless you. Enjoy the shift.